Okay, on this episode of TikTok Made Me Buy It, I have this shaver for my hair, but it doesn't get like all the way down to like the skin, and I don't want to shave my head like with a razor. And so TikTok said that I should get a men's groomer, so I bought a ball shaver for my head. It's got little testes on it. It says it's a whole new balls game, and I'm gonna shave my head with it. Dude, this is like, I did one half. This is like really nice. Like this is the closest shave I've ever been able to get on my head. Like this is great. Like look at that. That's like to the skin. That's so 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up now. I really like how all of the hardware that comes with it has these little like stylized testicles on it. It's a really nice touch. Like 10 out of 10 for the packaging, guys. So I have been on an absolutely insane recording kick lately. And I am having some trouble still with recording guitar parts. So I have the MIDI plugin that was supposed to connect to my electric guitar, and it doesn't work. So I have been thinking about, okay, like I have the option to record the guitar portion of any particular song as an audio instead of as a MIDI. And for those unfamiliar, like recording something as an audio file is just recording it through the microphone. And so that's how I used to record everything. Like if I could not physically make the sound in real life, I didn't put it in any of the songs. I had no way to. And that works out okay, but I find that it is really difficult to control like the level of sound, like without the microphone peaking. I can put like a compression on top of it as I'm recording to make sure that it doesn't peak, but then the sound, it's harder to get a really consistent level, like a consistent volume. Whereas with the MIDI, you can say, okay, I want the sound to be exactly this decibel, like exactly this loud the whole time. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's that loud the whole time. It's so much easier. And so I really want to record the guitar the same way that I'm recording other things, just because it's easier. So I have just been basically I've done 3 tracks so far, recorded 3 songs so far since messing around with this program that I've just recorded with MIDI instruments, and I haven't included guitar. I've taken the parts that I would normally do as guitar and I have like blooped them into the computer as like, this is what I would normally do with a guitar. I want you to do that, and then just chosen a different instrument. Which is fine. It works out okay. I find it a lot easier to write songs just using a guitar and then taking the notes that I've played and just plopping them in to another instrument. That's easy enough. But there's one song now that I'm working on that I really, really want that like crunchy electric guitar sound. And I can't do it with the computer, but I can do it with the guitar, but I can't plug the guitar into the computer. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna do that part as an audio. And eventually I will get a new MIDI adapter so that I can plug my electric guitar into my computer, and it'll be brilliant. But I don't have any allocated funds, and I'm one of those people that I have a really hard time spending money on myself. Even like buying this program was like over $100, and I stressed about it for months before I bought it, and then I stressed about it again for months. I'm still stressing about it after I bought it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I just have the hardest time spending money on things for myself. A lot of like the knickknacks and things that you see in the background here are things that don't cost a whole heck of a lot of money and that I've accumulated over a very long amount of time. You know, most of the books that I have, I bought secondhand, and a lot of them cost like $1 or $2, and I really love things like that, like things that don't cost a lot of money but are like really, really cool. I really like yard sales and swap meets and toy shows and like the army surplus store. That's amazing. And so to go and spend like over any purchase that's going to be over like $50 is a purchase that I planned for months before I ever even stepped into a store. I planned it. And so I really do want a plug-in for the guitar to feed straight into the computer, but that's going to be more than $50, and I can afford it, I think. Yeah, I can afford that, but also I'm like, do I really need it, or can I just make do and it'll be fine? Like, I also, another factor to that is that I don't have a lot of space. I live in a very small apartment, and I don't have a lot of, you know, space to add extra crap. And so one of the factors is money, because for a very long time I have not made a lot of money. I have made barely enough money to make ends meet, sometimes even less so, and I've had to rely on friends and family to fill in the gaps. And I'm now like at a place where I'm like, okay, I make enough money to where I can buy things for myself and it'll be fine. But at the same time, I'm like, I live in the smallest possible apartment. But yeah, generally I don't bring new things into my home unless I can take old things out of my home, and that's just what it's like to live in a small space. But now, I'm getting to the point where all of my hobbies require space. I would like to have like a dedicated space for like all of my sewing stuff, because all of my sewing stuff right now is tucked under the table next to me because all of my audio recording stuff is out, and I don't have a dedicated space for either of those things. I just have to set up and take down as I transition between hobbies, which is a little bit tedious and is kind of a hurdle as far as creativity goes, because there are times where I'm like, oh man, I got a really good idea for like a song, but I don't have any of my audio recording hooked up because I've been sewing for the past week, so we're just gonna table that and just not do it. And it's like, it's so annoying. Or vice versa, where I've got my audio equipment set up right now, but I'm like, dang, I really think that I should sew a dragon puppet. That would be really cool. And I have all this momentum to do this thing, but then I'm like, oh, if I do that, I need to put away all of my audio stuff. And I've been on a roll with the recording, so I'm just gonna not do that because I don't want to take down all of my audio stuff only to have to put it back up tomorrow when I want to record again. I think I need more space. So I definitely misunderstood the assignment. First of all, I was like, oh, I need more space. I need more like so I moved. And it's been hectic. It's been, I hate moving, but it was, I think, necessary. I wasn't really happy at my old place for various reasons, one of which included the space, but I moved into a smaller apartment. But I got rid of a lot of things. Like, I downsized hardcore, and I got rid of a bunch of stuff. And I am living, instead of commuting an hour and a half to work, it's now like 15 minutes away. And so I have a lot more time now to do a lot more things, which is really cool. And I think that the thing that was bothering me about my old place wasn't necessarily that I didn't have the space to do things. It was that I didn't have the time to do them in. The setup and takedown that it takes to do every activity is a really big deal when you only have like an hour of free time every day. But when you have like 3 or 4 hours of free time every day, it's not that big of a deal. Like when I was commuting to work, I'd have to get up, get my son ready to go, take him to school, drop him off, drive an hour and a half to work, work 8 hours, then drive an hour and a half home to pick him up, and then make dinner and get him ready. And then it was like, what? I have an hour to myself every day. That's not a whole hell of a lot of time to do a lot of things. And so, like now, I have less space and I have to do the setup and takedown of everything. But now I have like hours of time that I can just do whatever I want. And like, that's really nice. And I feel a lot happier and a lot less stressed, a lot more, I don't know, I feel like I have a lot more freedom. I have a lot less space, but a lot more freedom. So that's nice. I'm still getting unpacked, as you can see from like the mountain of crap I have just that I haven't found a place for yet. But for the most part, like we're getting settled in and it has been nice. It's been really nice. I'm happy. Anyway, I gotta go to work. I gotta go back to work. I'm teleworking. My work is right over there. It's been, yeah, that's another thing that's really nice is that they've switched me to 3 days going to work and then 2 days teleworking. So not only is my work like 15 minutes away, sometimes it's in my living room. And instead of my son's school being like 20 minutes away, now it's like down the street. So it's been so nice. It's been so nice. So that's my big update. I moved. Yay! Maybe when I get all unpacked, I'll do a house tour. Probably not. Yay! No. Now show it. What does it say?
Ice cold. Ah!